arguments for the existence of God, arguments which could be grasped by the intellect. Today's readings appeal to faith for the existence of God, an existence which, as the Apostle Peter proclaimed, is visible in the resurrection of Jesus of Nazareth. God raised him up, having loosed the pangs of death. And of that we are all witnesses. And in the letter of St. Peter, God raised Christ from the dead and gave him glory, so that your faith and hope are in God. This God loved us so much that he gave us his only begotten Son, Emmanuel, meaning God with us. Love seeks maximum presence, intimacy, closeness, and union. Indeed, the essence of love is not a feeling, but a choice, a willingness. And that is why couples who enter into marriage declare, "I take you to be my wife or husband. I promise you to be true to you in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health. I will love you and honor you all the days of my life." Giving up his life for us, God's love has not diminished, and as such is still God with us, as the disciples of Emmaus experienced. When Jesus was with these disciples, their sorrow turned into joy. However, this climax was only reached after inviting Jesus to stay with them. They said, "Stay with us, for it is towards evening, and the day is now far spent." Truly, if you do not invite the Lord, he might pass you by. God does not impose himself on anyone. And see what follows. By interpreting the scriptures, the hearts of the disciples were already burning. And by seeing Jesus breaking the bread, their eyes were opened. Filled with Jesus' holy joy, the night was no longer frightful because of darkness and dangers. The disciples rose and returned to Jerusalem. This complete story is not only for these lucky disciples of long ago. No, not in the least. This very moment at Holy Mass, the Lord speaks again through the scriptures, making your hearts burn. And through your faith, your eyes will be opened at the breaking of the bread, and you will recognize him, your Lord and God. This shows that the Lord is no longer just God with us, but has become God inside us through the Holy Communion, through the Holy Spirit, enabling God to be with us from inside out and from outside in. How does this work in practice? The young man, Robert, went to daily Mass all year and was also making visits to the Blessed Sacrament, and witnessed. That was where I first felt deep stirrings in my heart. I really started feeling the pull. I would spend an hour before the Blessed Sacrament in the evening, absorbed in peace and serenity. Surely this was a deep encounter with Christ, awakening the desire to respond to him. Many more witness to life-changing effects of Eucharistic adoration. We take the Lord in our body, he takes us in his mystical body. Being in his mystical body, the Lord walks with us all the time. Do you recognize him? Brother Lawrence of the Resurrection, a lay brother with the Discalced Carmelites, practiced in his life the experienced firsthand the immense joy of being in the presence of God. His soul was so irresistibly drawn to the divine presence that nothing could hold him to earth. Indeed, Brother Lawrence teaches us that even when you are busy with any kind of occupation, you can feel yourself in the presence of God. The disciples of Emmaus equally experienced this joy of being in the presence of God. And what about you? Has your sorrow already turned into joy because of the Lord's presence? The Lord might seem to hide himself or to disguise himself. But is this not to deepen and strengthen your faith? By your faith, not only will you finally see the Lord as he is, but already now you will know